I think that's good. All right. Hey guys, it's been a while. I am here to talk about selecting a weight class for high-level athletes, or at least why I'm deciding to drop down to 93's. I don't know if it's temporary, but definitely a decision I made. So, I think as powerlifters, especially as high-level powerlifters, you start identifying with your weight class more and more. This has been shown through research on weight cutting and high-level athletes identifying with their specific weight class as like a part of them. It's like who I am. And there are some good things about that. It gives you a sense of belonging, a sense of structure, a sense of, responsibility when it comes to making the right food choices to stay in your weight class. But I think it can also give you a certain amount of pressure to basically be forced into your weight class. And it's oftentimes true alongside this that the weight class that you perform best isn't necessarily the one that you feel the most comfortable in. So ever since 2019 Nationals, I had kind of created let's say a backup plan to drop down to 93's if I didn't end up going to Worlds or didn't end up winning. Now, I know that's a fairly steep bar, second place, is that so bad? But I really, I know that, I have limited time, and I know that I wasn't extremely happy with my body as a 105. And even as I continue to gain mass, I'm still fairly high body fat, and this is a multifaceted issue. I know, for instance, that I want to work on the aspect of myself that is okay with myself at all body weights. As I talk to individual athletes, I realize that a lot of athletes are going through the same kind of struggles. Powerlifters especially, male, female, it really doesn't matter. Athletes of all kinds go through body image issues of balancing performance and feeling good about that. And of course, performance increases, that's my job. I'm working for that for athletes on a daily basis. And at the same time, helping athletes manage the same type of things that I'm now dealing with. So in order not to feel like I was stuck in, just not winning and feeling bad about that and feeling like, well, there's, where else do I go from here? I kind of started thinking about this plan B of okay, well, after Nationals, that's especially if you don't make the national team, that's an ideal time to think about dropping a weight class and, playing around with a different way of being competitive, a different class, and, being leaner, perhaps being more comfortable in my body, perhaps moving a little bit better, perhaps sleeping a little bit better. And those things ended up happening. So, athlete just PR'd. Okay, so where were we? We were talking about sleep, some of the benefits of dropping a weight class, the idea of having an out. This has to do a little bit with motivation and self-determination theory. So basically, in self-determination theory, there are kind of these three big pillars to motivation. There's autonomy, that is feeling that you have control over your decisions. The opposite would be someone with an overbearing coach who doesn't let them choose their training, the meets they do, the meals they eat. Just think of very autocratic countries and traditional top-down coaching models that don't really involve much flexibility at all. So that's one pillar. Pillar number 2 is competence, feeling that you are successful and that your training is appropriately difficult, and that if you put in effort, there's outcome on the other side. There's a tight relationship between what goes in and what comes out. Basically, that you feel that you're good at what you're trying to do. And finally, it's relatedness, this feeling that we can share our passion, our hobby with other people, that we can relate with them over these things. And anyway, I feel like being locked into a weight class, or even feeling that you're locked in, like, of course I don't have to compete as a 105. Feeling like I was locked in gave me a sense of decreased autonomy. And so, I really kind of thought and sat with that decision for a while. And anyway, back to the kind of the timeline of what happened. 2019 came and I won. I beat Ashton, and then I was supposed to go to the World Championships again. COVID happened. Nominations kind of got erased, and we had nationals. I lost to Ashton, even though we both got a ton stronger. So I was really happy with my performance. No knocks to my performance at all. It just wasn't enough on the day. But then I thought, okay, well, there's no World Championships. Not to mention everything going on with USA Powerlifting and the IPF. Maybe there won't be a path to World Championships for a while. This is the perfect time to diet down to the 93s. So that's what I started doing. This coincided with the release of Macro Factor, which is kind of convenient. I mean, I was going to be tracking my nutrition anyways on, let's say, My Macros Plus. It's probably what I would have used. I have never tried Carbon. I've used MyFitnessPal a long time ago. I used Chronometer before that, but really, My Macros Plus is awesome. However, Macro Factor, little graph. This is the weight trend. And so there's a weight trend, and then there's your actual body weights. It uses some kind of algorithm to smooth out the line a little bit in a way that removes some of your normal natural fluctuations and highs and lows and stuff like that. So anyways, I've been in a pretty good deficit for a while. I think I've been dieting for maybe 8-10 weeks, something like that, and have dropped from 107 kilos down to right between 98 to 99 kilos, and have actually been in calorie maintenance for 2 weeks now. So we're bumping up calories just a little bit more to try to see if my body weight goes up. After that, I'll be kind of continuing the diet down. The goal being to get down to around 95 kilos or so, hold there, and then water cut into a competition, qualify for nationals, USA Powerlifting Nationals, and then take the next steps from there. At least that's the plan as it is today. I think it's a good plan. I'm excited about it, and I'm really enjoying feeling a little bit lighter. My clothes are fitting better. I'm sleeping a lot better. And I know it's kind of dumb to say that because, yeah, of course. But I would snore quite a lot, and my snoring is dramatically decreased. I'm moving around less in my sleep, and I probably had some kind of mild sleep apnea, which is now basically removed. So that's been good. Obvious question, have I been holding on to my strength? Well, no. It's hit and miss. So deadlift, as expected, is holding on pretty darn well. The problem with determining whether or not I've been holding on to my strength for squat is that I've also, in this same period, tried switching to low bar, which has been successful. And by successful, I mean I'm learning it. I'm getting more and more comfortable on a regular basis. And I think it will be a good move. Once things just normalize, there's just kind of too many spinning plates right now to really tell what's happening with squat. So I'm keeping up muscle mass. That is the most important thing. And strength can come back pretty quickly. I think even at the same body weight, things feel different in a calorie deficit than they do in a calorie surplus. So it's really just kind of giving me the time to be at a body weight and practicing the movement of the squat. And of course, getting in actual skill practice like heavy triples, doubles, and singles at ascending RPEs, which I will have. So I'm not too worried about it. But that doesn't make it so that, I don't freak out at all when it comes to bad sessions or something like that. I had a pretty bad block recently, and we went in and made a few changes. So I'm looking forward to those changes. But anyways, I'm the lightest I've been in 4 or 5 years or something like that. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Training is fun. I'm focusing more on just the process of training and, how good that feels, and really trying to kind of embrace this journey, and not just kind of let it pass me by, I guess. So that's been good. So that's kind of it. I dieted down to the 93s for a few reasons. I wanted to feel a little bit leaner. I wanted a different group of people to compete against. I wanted to move around a little bit better, sleep better. I just wanted to have a little change of pace, a new challenge. So I've been working on this new challenge and it's been a lot of fun. So please stay tuned as I hopefully keep up some strength. My goal, I mean, honestly, if I keep like 95% of my strength, I'll be in good shape. And I think that's a relatively low bar to have happen. So I know things feel shitty right now, or at least sometimes, not all the time. In the long run, I think I'll be preserving my strength and we'll have a great time in a few competitions. So competition in March, progressively working my way down. Definitely some ebbs and flows of food focus. I've taken up baking, by the way. I make some sick sourdough bread. So thank you, YouTube. And thank you, Tartan Bakery and Ken Forkish for that. Been reading a lot on basically making bread, sourdough starters, temperature, all that kind of stuff. I've been having a blast with it and trying very hard not to set up a food channel as a result. But yeah, things have been going well on that side. Oh, I'm super into plants right now also. We got a bunch of new plants down there. These two, Ficus burgundy, philodendron something, peace lily. This is a Swiss cheese vine. It's not the Monstera. Here we go. This one right here. It's not the Monstera. It's slightly different. And this is Philodendron adenosi, I think. And this is ficus tree as well. There's a palm over there, and then there's a croton. I'm learning the names of all these. All right, so that's been it. This has been a little check-in. Next one will have more training in it, but just wanted to talk. I like YouTube because there's the chance for longer form content, and I feel like Instagram can sometimes be so bite-sized that you don't get the chance to really express yourself fully. And if you do, people have to hold down their phones and look at the stories, and there's tiny text and it's just hard to read sometimes. So longer form content like this is literally what YouTube was designed for, vlogs and vlogging. So here I am, vlogging. All right, stay with me on this journey down to 93's. See you guys.